Hi, welcome to this session where we're going to focus on the philosophy behind issuing of IP rights. Why should one person be issued intellectual property rights? Now, the philosophy underpinning the issuing of intellectual property rights revolve around the idea of rewarding creators for their efforts and fostering innovation. IP rights are designed to protect creators' interest in their ideas and creations, providing them with exclusive legal control over their work. This protection encourages investment in the creative endeavors and helps ensure that society benefits from the fruits of those efforts. The labor that the individuals who spend countless hours in laboratories figuring things out, experimenting, in the end, for the greater good, it benefits the society. But how do we ensure that those individuals keeps working hard, they keep researching, they keep experimenting? It's by recognizing their work and who came up with those works through giving them legal protection status in form of the intellectual property rights, so that they may be able to benefit from the works of their hands, but not only that, also to protect the work that they have done within the framework of those IP rights. Now, I'll discuss a few philosophies and theories around what the philosophy of giving or issuing IPs to individual is underpinned on. Number one, we are going to look at what we are referring to as the Lockean labor theory. Now, this theory, championed by John Locke, posits that individuals have a right to the fruits of their labor by applying the labor to natural resources like the commons. Individuals gain ownership of the resulting creation. What does this mean? It means that if I apply my labor through the materials around me, the results of that application of my labor to a computer, so that I come up with a computer algorithm that solves a particular disease or a particular circuit that captures images in a fancy way, you call it a camera, that should be attributed to me who spend that much time figuring things out. Now, this applies to intellectual creations as well. Creators, by investing their time and effort and intellect to claim ownership of their inventions, writings, artistic creations such as music, books, novels, and many other things of that nature. Now, Locke's theory emphasizes the importance of enough and good provision, meaning that creators should not be allowed to monopolize the commons to the detriment of others. What this means is that if I come up with a new solution of how to harness, let's say, water into energy, that should not permanently be tied to me forever on the detriment of the society. Now, this has been further discussed by the University of British Columbia to see to what extent does the issuing of IP rights to individuals brings about value to the society, encourages others to invest billions of dollars into, creation of new ways and innovation and invention on how we can improve civilization and societal development. The personhood theory, also associated with Hegel, views intellectual creations as an extension of the creator's personality. It argues that a creator's personality is embedded in their work and they should be able to exercise ownership and control over it. This means that if I'm a musician, I come up with a good piece of music, that is a representation of my character, and to the greater extent, I must be given a legal status of ownership for that particular creation of art, so that I should be able to benefit from that, but to the greater extent, benefit the community. This theory emphasizes the creator's right to self-expression and autonomy, allowing them to shape and disseminate their work as they see it fit. Hegel's perspective also includes an incentive-based component, recognizing that protecting intellectual property promotes the sciences and benefits of society as a whole. This has further been discussed by the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy on how, when you provide me with the protection of what I've worked on, would also motivate the next person to be able to work hard so that their creation would give them that legal status protection to which they can benefit, whether financially or social status and many other things. As you may be aware, in the educational ranks, those that research more, that publishes more, that has contributed immensely to the academic discourse through research, gets rewarded through social status by giving them titles such as doctors, professors, and things of that nature. So that just shows to say that the personhood theory is indeed positing the fact that people could be encouraged to admire certain social status if the works of their mind or the creation of their mind is protected through some legal protection, which we may refer to as the IP rights. Now, the other argument that we could look at is the incentive-based argument. Now, in the incentive-based argument is the biggest argument that the Americans used in the early 1800s when they were promoting intellectual property. What they looked at is that if an individual come up with a creation of their mind, and then we give it a status of protection equivalent to a physical property that somebody owns. To break that down, what we mean is this. If I'm given an IP or a copyright or a trademark of my particular creation, then other people that might want to use that creation, they might rent it in equivalent to the way you can rent a house, or the way you can rent my car, or the way you can rent my car. The equivalence in terms of the legal ownership status of a physical property and the mind's creation, such as a book or a copyright for a song, is equalized in the incentive-based argument. Now, IP rights are seen as a mechanism to incentivize innovation and creativity. By granting creators exclusive rights, they are motivated to invest in research, development, and creative endeavors, knowing they can benefit from their efforts. As we have seen in today's world, people are racing who is going to get to 6G first, who is going to get to 5G first, who is going to have the first breakthrough in DNA research, who is going to get the first breakthrough to AI. The whole reason why we're doing this is because they know that if I get to the breakthrough first, I'll benefit from that financially and socially. The way we view people who created the medicine for say COVID. Not only do we look at them as people who helped save the entire world, but we also look at them as the elite who have heavily benefited from their creation financially. Now, the incentive-based argument also further encourages the positive feedback loop. Now, where innovation drives economic growth and societal progress. Innovation is at the center of societal improvement and progress, whether by means of the living standard, by means of financial prosperity, by means of improved economies. At the center of all this is innovation, the ability to create solutions that enables us to live better than we lived yesterday, is at the center of the progress of every society. Now, the idea is that IP rights strike a balance between the interest of creators and the public, ensuring that society benefits from innovation while also rewarding those who drives it. The people who created the COVID injection, we strike a balance. We award them the status of ownership for the creation, but at the same time, they saved the entire world through the creation of their mind, which was a research into the vaccine that could be able to cure or help with that particular pandemic. Now, the utilitarian argument focuses on the perspective that the overall societal benefit of protecting IP rights. It argues that IP protection encourages investment in research and development, which leads to new technologies, products, and services, ultimately benefiting societies as a whole. In Zambia, I'll give an example. A country in Africa, in the southern part of Africa, the intellectual property protection, and just as a quick comment there, we only have 5 patents that has ever been filed in Zambia as of the time of this research. Only 6 actually, 6 patents. Now, the enforcement of IP rights is not only legal, but it also goes further to sensitization of the masses. In Zambia, somebody can copy somebody's work without caring. As we see this in songs, people could simply copy songs, without needing to purchase or contributing to anything. People would copy, software. Very few people pays for software. There is need for sensitization for people to be able to respect the creation of others, because if we do that, what that would mean is that a lot of people will come into the space to try and benefit, focusing on the benefits that will come out there. But as they are trying to exert their force in trying to achieve those perceived benefits, we are progressing as a society in totality. Now, this approach emphasizes the importance of balancing between the societal benefit as well as the rewarding of those who are actually the creators of those creations. Now, we also look at the moral desert theory. Now, the moral desert theory in relation to the philosophy behind the issuance of intellectual property rights argues that creators are morally entitled to the fruits of their labor. A creator is morally entitled to the fruit of their labor. They have invested their time, effort, intellect, and they deserve to be rewarded for their contribution to the body of knowledge, to the innovation space, and to the society progress. So there's a moral responsibility for everybody to be able to reward the creators of those properties or the intellectual properties or the creation of their mind. The theory is closely related to the Lockean labor theory in that it emphasizes the creator's right to the benefits of their creation.